Welcome to Weekly Catch Up Out and About with Trev. First episode for 2018. Firstly, I hope that everyone had a cracking Christmas and safe New Year. Mine wasn't quite what I'd expected. People may remember that at the end of last year, in my last episode, I was looking forward to a nice trip up to Queensland. That didn't go to plan. That's just the way life rolls sometimes. So I just had a quiet Christmas here at the house, chilled out. I actually lifted the foot and for a few weeks and did basically sweet FA. It's been great. I played some computer games. I watched some movies. I've done a heap of bike riding and basically just chilled out. It was awesome. But now keen to get back into it, and that's why I'm putting this together. And this is only going to be a short episode, just a quick, let's jump into 2018. Got some really cool stuff coming up in future episodes, different events. I've got some corporate stuff lined up, which is going to be great. So yeah, first thing you may have noticed is the titles haven't changed. I played around with it. I've played with things. I'm just not happy with it, and that's just how creativeness goes. Sometimes you fire things up and it's not what you want, and then you realise later that it was not the best idea anyway. So therefore the titles are still the same. They can stay the same for a while. I'm playing with different ideas, but I'm just not happy with it. It's more about it's user error, I'm sure, because I guarantee you that After Effects can do what I want it to do, but I just can't drive it. So there you go. So the titles will stay the same. People have been like at me all last year about that I make the episodes too long. Just on that, it's my channel. This is a place for me to play. It's a place for me to produce stuff, put together. If I want to put together an hour-long episode, I'll put it together. That might have value down the track. That might have just be a thing that I want to put up there. Some of the stuff I've covered is really important. I mean, the stuff with the No Homeless ban and the Bendigo Street stuff, the protests there, and that. I mean, this is just important stuff, and I know that people are still going looking at it because the numbers keep tricking up. So if you want to talk about my most popular episode, there's actually episode 22, which was only 34 minutes long. So that sort of shows that, I mean, it has no, a million hits or anything, but it is my most popular episode. I found that over the last 12 months, it's been great to hone some of my skills, certainly a bit of filming, editing, things like that. It's been great putting all that together, and I'm already talking to some people about doing some different things in the future. So things are really starting to, hopefully going to go in the right direction. I haven't just spent the quiet time chilling out. It's not just all been beer and Skittles. I have been quietly putting gear together. I just got a new camera recently, new little Nikon W300. It's a waterproof thing. Not that I need to do in much underwater stuff, but with Melbourne's fickle weather, you never know when you get caught in the rain, so it's good to have a camera that can handle a bit of wet. I also got myself a nice little charging bank. People might be sitting there thinking, we've had these for years. Yeah, they've been around for a long time. But there's been major advances in batteries in the last 12, 18 months, and even in the last few months. So I don't know what capacity one you've got sitting at home. It might be a 2,000 milliamp or a 5,000 milliamp. I started looking at these a couple of months ago because I wanted to be able to run my Zoom, which is a bit battery hungry, but I also wanted to have options to charge the microphones and lights and things. So when I started looking at them, I could get a 10,000 milliamp, which I thought, well, that'd be pretty special. Swings and roundabouts, because I couldn't quite, I had to pay for other things. It took me only until a couple of weeks ago where I could actually throw the money away to buy one of these. And so I get a 30,000 milliamp one, which is amazing. Anyone that's worked in batteries will know that 30,000 milliamps in a thing this size is ridiculous. In between me ordering and receiving this, they've come out with a 50,000 milliamp. Who knows where they're going? I mean, batteries are the thing that have held technology back. I can remember going to conferences up in Sydney, and there were experts up there talking about, initially it was RAM, and then it was CPU power, and then it was the quality of the screens. But the big thing that kept coming up all through it all was that we had to have better batteries. And they kept saying that the space industry's got better batteries, and one day we'll have them. Well, I think maybe one day we've got them, because, this thing's crazy. 30,000 milliamps, that's a lot. Like I say, anyone who's worked with batteries will know that's a lot. I use little these little guys here for my GPS and things like that. These have been around for, these haven't changed in a decade, and they're 2,500 milliamp, so 2,000, well, I won't say that, 2,500 milliamp, there we go, 2,500 milliamp, yeah. They haven't changed. I would say very shortly they're going to have to, because, like I say, 30,000 milliamp in a little charging pack. I can't actually run my GPS is an older model. I can't run it off, it doesn't have a USB connection. Otherwise that would be amazing. So what else have I been up to? Well, because my Queensland trip didn't come to plan, or come to fruition, I started thinking, well, damn it, I've got to do something later in the year. So I've actually started planning a snow trip. I've done a fair bit of snow camping and lots of bushwalking, and I love it. I've got all the gear, so I want to go out again. So, like I said, I'm doing a lot of bike riding, try and get fitter, try and drop some kilos. I'm currently, well, this is what I was at the start of January. I'll do another weigh-in at the start of each month, and we'll see where I'm at. I'm trying to drop down to 80. That'd be pretty cool. Got to carry about 27 kilos when I go snow camping, so there's a bit of weight there. And in an upcoming episode, I'll talk about all my preparation for this. I'm hoping to get a new tent soon, and we'll that's going to be great. So I'm looking forward to that. I've put together some other kit. I don't want to show you exactly what I've got. It's a bit of a surprise for one of the directors I've been working with. He asked me at one point on a shoot, he said, you haven't got a certain thing. And I've been able to go through some boxes and find some equipment and make up a lead and put together this thing. So it's a bit of a surprise for him down the track. But then later I'll show you what I put together. A really cheap addition to my camera kit, and it's going to be great. So that's what I've been working on. Apart from that, that's about it. I've got to tell you, this is episode 42. I've done about 4 evolutions of episode 42. It has been crazy. I've been stuck in Groundhog Day. There's been some changes over in America with the FCC rolling back what was called net neutrality laws, and that looked really horrible. I mean, that was going to change the face of the internet. But there's been a lot of legal action and going on, and like they're sorting all that out over there. So I did a whole episode on that, and then decided I didn't want to do that. I did another episode where I talked about equipment or something. I didn't like that. I just couldn't be bothered putting them together. I got to a point where I was so over it. I just needed a break. So I now feel totally refueled. I feel ready to go. Getting the cameras out today has been great. I haven't had them out like this for, 3 or 4 weeks, and it's been awesome. So it was actually, what was funny, it just shows you, I got the main camera out, turned it on, the battery was flat. There we go. I thought that was humorous. So over upcoming episodes, I've got some shots from the last protest for last year, from the Defend and Extend Public Housing crew, and they wrapped things up. They talked about what they'd achieved and what had changed and where things were going. There were some great interviews done, and I'm going to wrap that up into an episode shortly. I've also got an episode from a trip out to Halls Gap with the Victorian Indigenous Statewide Homelessness Network, and I was out there as a member of the Peer Education Support Program, and me and the rest of the team, we've graduated for that program. That doesn't end our involvement, but they've got a whole new team they're going to be retraining, so they're going to be the A team, I suppose, and we're just we get to do some other stuff which is pretty cool. So some of the less high profile stuff, but some of it's really cool. Some of the co-design stuff we're working on is really nice. in regard to my Vision special, we all make mistakes. And this one's a real, I kicked myself like you wouldn't believe. On the day we were rushed for time, I did an interview with Dan Laws, who's the coordinator from the Victorian Indigenous Statewide Homelessness Network, and Jason Russell, who's another member of PESP, who's recently graduated with myself and the rest of the team. And we had some other audio done, and I had my blimp because it was windy. I had that running into a Zoom. I had my wireless running into the main camera, so I've got the audio from that, but the actual Zoom audio, I've lost it. It's gone. I've searched everywhere. I've recovered files off the card. I've tried. I don't know. It's just not. I just can't find it. So that's an issue. That's made me sit and have a look at my data management, and I've set up some more structured things in regard to where I copy files and save files, and and some different methodologies, and just how I do that. So that's a, it's pretty bad, but there's nothing I can do about it. It's, I spent a whole day looking for it. So there you go. Use some recovery software to try and look for deleted files and things like that. Just couldn't get it. So, so that's a shame, but I'm positive we got something from it. There's still some stuff I can use from it, and I'll be able to put something together, and that'll be coming in a couple of weeks' time or so. So I've got this stuff I'm putting together. I've got heaps of material. It's just about sitting down and getting it together. And so anyway, that's about it. Haven't really got much else I wanted to cover. I just thought I'd better get something up to kick the channel off for 2018, seeing as it's getting close to the end of January already. The days certainly roll by. I certainly appreciate everyone that comes past and has a look at what I've got up here, and like I've said before, this is just a place for me to play and get better at my filming and editing and how I put things together. And I already think that if you look back in the first half a dozen episodes to what I've been, some of the ones more recently, I think there's already a progression and development in what I can do. And I'm also really appreciative of the fact that I've got some clients that have been inviting me to do film new events and things like that, and that's starting to roll forward. I'm going to finish my degree this year. We've had hurdles in the way. Most of the issues haven't been me. Most of the issues have actually been the uni. I've got to say, if Vic Uni's anything to go by, I think the unis are out of touch with how the real world operates. As an adult student, they tell us time and time again that unis are there to let you balance your work and study loads, and they're there to help you out and rah rah rah. I don't actually feel any of that. I feel that I think it's very much, you've just got to, they're very rigid in their approach. They're they don't want to negotiate. There's no wavering. It's, here's our schedule, meet it or not. To give you an idea, through circumstances not all my fault, I haven't been able to complete one of the units from last semester. I can't do that next semester. I've got to do it semester 2. So, this thing's just dragging on, and I think it just shows how they're just not, I think they're a little bit out of touch, to be honest. And I think that the way the world works now, we have to be more adaptable. We have to be more able to just, you've got people doing all sorts of different jobs. I still find it strange that, why haven't we got night classes? I'm not talking about night classes at 7 or 8 o'clock. If they want to get real serious about it, we'd have night classes at midnight. Just a thing. There's lots of people that have got all sorts of work commitments, and I just feel, as an adult student, that it's, I've just got to take, I've just got to meet their schedules and stuff, and they've moved the goals, and I'm pretty pissed off about it, to be honest. I am so close to walking away from the thing, but I'm trying to stay focused. I'm trying to see the big picture. But, like I say, I am done. 2018, I either walk out with my degree or I'm walking away from it. The end of the year, that's it. I'm done, because I've got plans for 2019, and I'm not getting any younger, and I need to go and do some things. There's some things I want to get done, and I need some money, so I've got to chase the money to be able to do the things I want to do. This was only ever meant to be a 3-year commitment, so they're not getting any more than 4 years out of me, and that's it. Anyway, there's my bitch for the afternoon, and there we go. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching, and yeah, it's gone a bit dull here because my main light's just run out of battery. There we go. I thought I had just enough to get this last bit done, but no. Anyway, cheers. See you guys.